Thank you for joining us for the Cultivate OKC podcast. This podcast is a product of the Cultivate Venture Accelerator. The accelerator was created to equip entrepreneurs, for-profit and nonprofit, to build redemptive cultures in their community, to move founders from being the owners of their ventures to the stewards, because we want to see Oklahoma City become a place where everyone is flourishing, every industry, every culture, and every neighborhood, because we are committed to the whole person, reaching their whole potential to care for the whole city. Let's jump in. And hello, my name is Tracy Zerdin. I'm a part of the Cultivate team. I am also an entrepreneur myself. I am a co-founder of a technology platform that processes sponsorship requests for small to mid-sized businesses called Made Possible By. And when I was asked to join the Cultivate team, I jumped on that opportunity so quickly because I love just rubbing elbows and working with people who want to do more than just make a buck, people who want to make a difference. And this is exactly what Cultivate is about. It's about helping entrepreneurs. It's about helping the economic development of a city, but more so, it's about creating a place where everyone can thrive. And joining with me today is my sweet friend, Miss Shanita Jefferson. Hello, Shanita.
Hi.
Shanita.
Glad to be
Thank
here.
you for joining us. Shanita is the program director for Cultivate and for the larger Flourish community. She does so much. She is our resident prayer warrior, and she is a mother of 3 beautiful girls. Tell us their names and their meanings behind their names, Shanita.
So I have Faith, which,
Means faith.
A substance of things hoped for. Then I have Amani, and that means peaceful, or it also in Arabic could mean one with great wishes and dreams. And then I've got an Iniaya, which means journey. So I really got faith is the journey to peace.
I love that. You're very intentional with that.
It was on accident. I had a faith first, and then I had a peace, and then the journey.
Okay. Well, hey.
So it was like faith was the journey.
Faith was the journey to peace. There you go.
Was.
Nice. Shanita can also sing the paint off the walls. Any opportunity we have to get her to sing, even if it's just happy birthday, we're going to call her in on that. And last week was her birthday. And so totally selfishly, I made her sing happy birthday to herself because you do not want to hear me singing happy birthday. So she did a great job.
Yeah. And then Tracy's husband actually sang me happy birthday over the weekend. So that was like so sweet.
Yes, he is a hoot. My husband, Mike Zerdin, he's multi-layered, very talented human being, but he's got a great voice. You wouldn't think that he would. Not that you can look at somebody and tell if they have a singing voice, but it's one of those sleeper qualities that he has. But he sings happy birthday like Las Vegas lounge singer. So it's pretty hilarious. And Shanita got the honor of it. Yes. Good. I'm glad that you did. And he was out at the land. The video is he's out at the land. He's just a sweaty, hot mess, chopping down trees and working on building our house. And so he sounded amazing, and he looked pretty funky, and he smelled really bad, but you didn't get to experience that. So there you go.
Yeah, I wouldn't have known. I wouldn't have known.
Okay. Well, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Well, joining Shanita and I today is Miss Nekesha Griffis, and she is using textured hair as the platform for unity because God's kingdom is diverse, and she wants her salon to reflect that. But not only is she looking to grow her salon, but she wants to grow the industry as a whole, bridging the gap of consumers, stylists, salons, and schools. This will bring an awareness to the segregation in the industry and better serve it. She believes that our primary purpose on earth as human beings is to serve one another. And by providing the spaces for this to happen in our communities will serve individuals and everyone's needs can be met. In addition to her huge vision, which we're going to let her go into a lot more details on, she's also a wife and a mother. So, welcome with me, please, everyone, Miss Nekesha Griffis. Nekesha, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me, Tracy. So glad to be here.
Absolutely. So, tell us a little bit about your family.
Well, I have a husband of 15 years, three kids, 21-year-old. Well, they're young adults now. 21-year-old, 20-year-old. My 20-year-old has a daughter, so we're grandparents technically. And then we have a 14-year-old that will be 15 in a couple of weeks, and she keeps reminding us of just that.
Of course she does. Of course she does. So, do you get to see your grandbaby very often? Do they live close?
I couldn't
I'm
hear you.
sorry. Do you get to see your grandbaby very often? Do they live close?
Yes, they live close. Yes, we get to see her.
Oh, good.
Yes, ma'am.
Good. Oh,
Yeah.
that's so fun.
My daughter was just over there last night, as a matter of fact,
Nice.
visiting with them. Yes, so she's a cutie pie.
Nice. I hear that grandkids are so much fun because you can juice them up with whatever and send them home, right?
And send them back. That's exactly right.
Some of that's
You are absolutely
some of
right.
that I think is payback, right?
Yes,
Oh, that's hilarious. That's so fun.
Yes, so we just have one at home. The 14-year-old is the only one that's at
Oh,
home. The other two are
okay.
doing
Doing
life
life
as young
out in the
adults.
world,
Yes.
out in the world.
hmm
So, what is the 15-year-old? What is her? Does she play sports? Is she into instruments? What does she like to do?
Track. So we discovered she was a track star about 2 years ago.
Nice.
And we've kind of honed in on that with her, and she's been excelling.
Okay. What is her favorite? What do you call it? Practice? I don't know what you call it. Event?
She the 100. Now I'm still learning all this as well because I was always a creative in school,
Mm-hmm.
never a sports person.
Mm-hmm.
So the 100 and the 200, and then she does the relay. But I think of the 3 or 4 that she does, probably the 100-yard dash is her
So
favorite.
she's fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a speed runner. Yeah, no
Nice.
distance, just speed.
Nice. Nice. Does she have really long legs?
Yes, she does. She's short. She's a shorty,
Mm-hmm.
but because myself and my husband were not very tall people,
Mm-hmm.
but I have long legs and she has really long legs.
Okay.
So I think that's what gives her the advantage.
Yeah, she's got the speed.
hmm
Nice.
Yeah, she has the speed for sure.
Nice. So, Nekesha, tell us something unique about you or something that made you smile this week.
Um, Something that made me smile. My client was because I have so many clients, and so I get to engage in so many conversations and get the opportunity to, just kind of pour into to them. One of my clients was in my chair, and her mother called, and she was going to the emergency room, and her birthday was coming up, so she was sitting in the chair and just stressing, like, oh my God, what's good? She was saying that her leg was hurting. And so, I just kind of comforted her
Mm,
with the words to let her know, like, you overthinking it basically, which is what we all tend to do sometimes, especially when you don't know what's going on. And so then I texted her the next day, just to follow up and check on her. And she was so happy that, everything went well. And, she thanked me for checking on her. But it just made me smile that she was okay. And then she admitted that she was overthinking it. And so it made me smile that she had peace in that moment. She did it at the salon, but I could definitely tell from the way she responded in the text message that everything was all good.
boy,
So yeah,
it's nice when you get to be the bringer of peace to someone, isn't it?
I just, because she started crying and everything, I was like, oh my gosh, like, God, give me the words to say.
Mm,
And, so I just helped to calm her down. So to know the next day that it was nothing serious with her mother. She had actually been she's supposed to wear some insoles, and she hadn't been wearing them, and she started wearing them. And so it just had the muscles in her legs tense because they hadn't been used, and so that's all it was. But her mother didn't know. She's older. I think she's like 78. So she was just concerned. She does a lot, and my client said that she's always telling her, Mom, you need to sit down. You go, you do too much, and of course she doesn't want to hear that because she thinks she's 58 instead of 78. So yeah, that brought some joy to me to know that her mother was okay.
So you made her look beautiful, and then you brought her some peace. So there you go. Those are all
Yes.
good things.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
I'm smiling
Yeah.
right now about it.
I love that. I think there's like so much, oh gosh. There's just, to be able to do that, you know what I mean? It's so beautiful to be able to connect with your people like that, you know what I mean, in the community.
Yeah, it's definitely a blessing, and something that I don't take for granted. And I thank God, and I'm like, wow, like you trust me to have these people to come to me and be vulnerable with me,
Wow.
on a week to week,
Mhm.
month to month, like God trusts me with that, because it is a
Yes.
very vulnerable space. I always say it's more than just hair. So it definitely is a blessing to be in position to have that opportunity.
Well, as every hairstylist knows, you're part therapist too, right? I mean, you probably know things about people that other
Right.
people don't know.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Or counselor, you know what I mean?
Yes,
Or like
everything.
sister in the Lord,
Yes.
mother at times, you know
Yes,
what I mean?
yes.
Oh my gosh.
Definitely
Yeah.
unconventional therapy. Some things you would rather not know, and a lot that you are grateful to know because then you can pray for
There
it,
you go.
So yeah, it's just a matter of keeping that information sacred, and it stays right there in the chair. And in my heart, like I say, I pray for them.
Mm-hmm.
Even sometimes they don't know it, but I'm always praying for them. So yeah, we know a lot, and it is unconventional therapy and counseling. Like we're everything. We give advice on so much direction, so many resources. I've always said that the salon and the chair is a platform, and that I've always been a connector of people and network and community. And the chair is the platform for that. So yeah, we're definitely more than just hairstylists.
Nice.
Well, that just leads us to the next question. We want you to just share about main results, and like what do you do that, and what sets you apart? And you kind of already did just share a little bit of it, but give us a
Um, Definitely when I started Main Results Salon, I had it. The idea was for community. I've always thought in the industry, a lot of things were lacking, and so I said, well, I can do my part in the space that I have. Okay, and so I think the main thing that sets us apart is that we are here to serve the people first. I always say that the hair is secondary, but the primary source, the primary reason that we're there, and that the salon was founded, was to serve the people. So whatever that looks like when they from the time they come through the door, how can we assist you? How can we help you? Within the realm of what we're there to do, but a lot of the times it goes beyond the doors.
So tell us about your vision for textured hair, because I know you've shared the statistic about the percentage of people that have textured hair in the world, in contrast to the percentage of stylists who know how to do textured hair, and the gap that creates, and how our salons get very segregated because of that.
Yes, so I believe it is start. I've never gone to beauty school, so my talent has definitely been a God given talent. Um, and but speaking to other stylists that have gone to beauty school, they did not receive a lot of knowledge, or know how on how to deal with textured hair. And as you stated, that I stated, 65% of the world has textured hair. So that's most of the world. has textured hair. And when I say textured, that's hair that does not dry straight. So if you shampoo your hair and allow it to dry, if it has any type of texture in it, you are considered a person of textured hair. And so the more highly textured the hair is, it can be somewhat more challenging than as opposed to just straighter hair. And so the beauty schools do not, um, they don't dig deep enough with textured hair. And so then the result of that is we have a lot of stylists in the market that are not versed with textured hair. They can do the straight hair, but they're not that versed with textured hair. And so that has created a sense of segregation. We have Caucasian salons, we have African American salons, we have Hispanic salons, we have Asian salons. And I mean, I get it. You know, sometimes we do want to go where there are people that look like us. But just because they look like us doesn't mean that the hair is all the same. You know, like across the board, texture is everywhere. And so um, I don't know if I'm answering your question or
Yeah,
not,
you are.
but I feel like the industry is just segregated because of that, because of the way that the beauty school um they don't put as much emphasis on textured hair like I think that they should. And so then it helps, or it aids in the segregation component that you find. I'm sure you ladies have experienced it. I know I have. You know, I've worked in African American salons, and it's primarily African American people that we market to, we see that work there. And I hear it so much. And so I kind of created Main Result Salon because I want to bridge that gap, you know, and that disconnect, and be that voice of reason. Like, why is this happening? Why are we not putting as much emphasis on textured hair as we are straight hair when most of the world has textured hair, you know? So,
I love that, Nekesha, because as a woman of color, I had such a hard time with my kids figuring out what was the right, product or, you know what I mean? Because that's not something
hmm
that's studied that beauticians actually learn. They don't,
hmm
I mean, it's not, they just don't learn about that stuff. So, I think it's beautiful what you're
yeah.
doing.
And just from, history, historically we have, even people with highly textured hair, we have always been like accustomed to straightening it, you know, as if the straighter the better, you know. And so it's not until 2020 was, I always say, was the year of clarity. It gave us 2020 vision. And I think that as a society we put a lot of things in perspective, and hair was one of those things, right? So a lot more people are just living in and accepting the texture that grows out of their scalp, and they're appreciating it. And because of that is making those around us, we have the Crown Act that passed. So a lot of great things came out of the perspective that 2020 brought, in my opinion. And because of that, the textured hair is more embraced. So people are inquiring more about it, and they want to know, like, hey, how do I do this? How do I care for it? How do I make it look its best? Like, I don't want to straighten it. That's not how it grows out of my head. So Main Result Salon is here to, I love all hair, straight, curly, kinky, wavy, long, short, colored, uncolored, gray. I appreciate the art of hair itself. And so Main Result Salon is here to just to make all any hair for that matter look good. But we have an emphasis on textured hair because I feel like that's something that has been, that's the texture that has been forgotten, and not as embraced. And most of the world has textured hair, so we're here to make it look good.
Nice. You just think about, and I don't know if this is as true in today's world, but the salons, or even the barbershops were the place where people would come hang out. That's where you would get your lowdown on what's going down in the world. And if we can create these spaces to where people who don't look the same are sitting together and having conversations, it's just going to provide more opportunities for growth, more opportunities for understanding. And I love that your idea includes a school and that you can teach
Mm-hmm.
people how to do textured hair so they can be in any salon anywhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I mean, I feel like as a professional, no one should walk through the door and you say, "Well, I can't do it." You know, maybe you can't do it because you take only appointments, but you shouldn't say I can't do it because I don't have the knowledge. You know, so I want to provide the education so that the stylists have the knowledge and they have the confidence that anyone that walks through the door, I can accommodate them, you know, professionally with who I am as a person, and along with the skill and the craft, you know, that has come along with the license that I have, the professional certification. So I feel like the industry is lacking that. You know, we have some stylists now. It's one thing to say, you know, I've arrived and I prefer to only do this, but at the end of the day, we should all be able to do everything. You know what your preference is, okay, that's one thing, but you actually knowing how to do it, we all should know how to do it. And the school for me um will take care of that. You know, it'll because like I say, they're not it's not something that's emphasized now. They touch on it a little, but not to the extent, it hasn't caught up with the times, shall I say.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the things that we're doing with texture hair today, I don't think that that's really a thing in the beauty schools.
I want to give you several opportunities to tell people where they can find you, where your salon is, and where they can find you online. So if they want to come enjoy some time in your chair and receive a beautiful do and some peace, they'll know where to get you. So where do we find you?
So, Main Result Salon is located at 4335 Northwestern Avenue. We're in the Western Avenue district, just north of Musashi's, across from Rug and Carpet, the Sushi Nico area. We can be found on Instagram at Main Result Salon. We do have a Facebook. We don't do much engagement there. Primarily, all of the engagement happens on Instagram. We do send out a monthly newsletter to keep up with what we're doing in the community, and then any promos we may be running through the salon. So if you'd like that, you can sign up for that on the website as well on the contact page. But yeah, we would love to have you sit in our chair, join our community of texture. We are, you know, unified and diversified and all of the above. You know, we welcome anyone with any walk of life, from any walk of life, with any texture of hair. Yeah, our chairs and our arms are open with love.
Oh, I like that.
I
I
love
love it.
that. Chairs and arms open with love, girl. Is that your tagline?
It is now.
That's nice.
I'm coining it. I'm
It is
coining it.
now.
So, Nekesha, what would be your call to action to the community? Like, what can we do? What would be your ask?
My ask would be to let people know that we're here. You know, I think that because the industry is so segregated, when first off, when people hear texture, they may get a little intimidated. Like, I don't have textured hair. So I guess my ask would be that you're hearing me say, as far as the knowledge that I'm giving you about what hair is and what hair is not, like, be open to share that, you know, and let people know, hey, I know a space, you know, if they've been shunned in this community of hairdressers, send them here. I know a place where you are welcome, your texture is welcome, you as an individual and as a person, you're welcome. So overall, my ask would be to just let them know that Main Results is here, and we welcome them, we welcome their texture, and we welcome them as individuals.
Nice. I love your heart, Nekesha. So we are over halfway through with the Cultivate Accelerator, which is hard to believe. Nekesha is,
I know,
I
right?
know, isn't that crazy? Nekesha is a fellow in cohort 3. Each of our cohorts go for 16 weeks. We do 2 of them each year. We meet 8 times during those 16 weeks, and we only have 2 left. It's crazy. So tell us, what do you see, Nekesha, thus far has been the most beneficial for you, or a couple things that have been beneficial to you, or a mentor you've really connected with? What's been your favorite?
Oh, it's a lot. And that's a loaded question. But I would say for me, the main thing would be the perspectives. It's so many people from different backgrounds, um, different socioeconomic levels, just different overall. And that is like, in essence, what the world is. Like, we're all individuals, we're all different, but at the end of the day, we're all the same. We all tend to have the same insecurities. We all tend to have the same worries. We all tend to want the same thing. We all want to be heard. We all want to be connected with, and we all want to be loved. And so for me, just the different perspectives to that I hear, they're different, but then the meat of it and the core of it, to know that we are all the same, that has been very enlightening to me. Um, and it's been very welcoming for me, and it's been very inspiring for me, because I can look at other people and say, hey, we're different, but you know what, we are serving the same God. We're the same,
Mm.
and if he did it for you, he can do it for me. I appreciate that. And then as far as like, just overall, Cultivate has been amazing, just from a developmental standpoint. It's been a lot of self-reflection, a lot of hard things that I've had to talk to myself about and deal with. Um, and it's shined a ton of light on the direction that I'm going, where I am right now in my place of business, and just as myself as an individual, my spiritual walk with Christ, the way that I'm in relationship with others. And then as far as mentor, Mr. I think his name was Marty
Marty
Hep.
Hep.
He was Marty Hep was phenomenal, and I say that because he was so relatable. The first thing he says is, the way you're trying to scale your business is the same way I had to scale mine. Because it's you as the individual, and and I'm trying to make more of me. And it's working, but the patience that it takes. And so he gave me a lot of comfort with the process. He gave me a lot of insight as to what he did when he felt like, okay, this is it. This is it. This business is grounded, is established. So yeah, he was probably my favorite mentor, and just overall, Cultivate has been phenomenal in the fact of me self development. Because I feel like the main thing that Cultivate is teaching is that your business is going to be as good as you are. If you are developed, then your business will be developed, and the more you feed into you and you develop you, then your business is going to reflect that.
Mm, that's a great point. That's a great point, because that's something unique that Cultivate focuses on, is not just your venture, that we focus on the founders.
Mm-hmm.
Because if the founders aren't
Mm-hmm.
healthy, if the founders aren't in a good place, then they can't. I mean, you can push that rock up the hill for a little bit, but it's not going to go very far
Mm-hmm.
for very long if you're not in a good spot.
Yeah, not at all.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
No.
And I'm a firm believer, and witness to that. The more I started to develop me and spend more time with Christ, I started to see a shift in the way I was doing business. And so then, if I'm shifting the way I'm doing business, then the fruit that comes along with that, like, is I don't have to put the intention there. I shifted the intention on developing me, and my walk with Christ, and who I am, and as a leader. I've gained a lot of insight from cultivate from that aspect as well. Leadership. In fact, the book that we just got at the last session. I've started reading it, and I'm like, okay, this is going to be an awesome book, an awesome read. But yeah, just the leadership component. Like, we are the leaders, we're the visionaries of the organization. And so we're the leaders, and we have to we have to make disciples. And making disciples is creating other leaderships in our organizations. And I think that Cultivate really cultivates that perspective. in our minds. So yeah, I appreciate it all. It's been a good work.
I'm so glad that we're just blessed that you got to be a part of it, because you've been really helpful. There's a lot of peer-to-peer mentoring that happens. I mean, we bring in the
Mm-hmm.
subject matter experts for each session. There's anywhere from 3 to 12, depending on the session. And our fellows get to hear from them in a panel setting. They get to ask them questions, but then they get one-on-one time with them. That's where Nekesha got the goodness with Marty Hepp. But there's also the peer-to-peer connections. And I love, Nekesha, you give insight every time. And I appreciate that you're willing to step out and do that. Especially you're the only woman right now, which is weird.
I know,
that
right?
was so weird. Like,
I know we had 2 other women. I know we had 2 other women, but just due to life, they had to step out, and one of them's going to come back next cohort. But so I appreciate you just being willing to jump in there with all those guys, and they were pretty rowdy sometimes, especially this last session. They were very rowdy.
Yes, they can be, but I love them. You know, they're really good guys, really good men, leaders in their communities. They're pretty amazing.
Oh, that's so fun. So what do you want to leave us with today, Nekesha? What is your closing thought? If you could stick a kitty cat poster on my wall, what would it say?
I would just say be brave. You know, I remember the session that we had where we had the therapist come in, and that was one of the words that God gave to me during that session. And it's been in my heart. You know, it's been in my heart ever since, to be brave. You know, bravery is, there's no fear in bravery. There's courage in bravery. And that's in all aspects of life. You know, you be brave and know that what's for you is for you. And your timing, it's all in God's hands. You know, you can have your plans and you can have your thoughts, but you have to be brave and keep the faith that the way things are is how they should be. You know, and I think that takes a lot of bravery and courage. You know, to just settle in the moment. Okay, here I am. This is where I am. This is what it is. It's okay. You know, it's okay. There's a lot of bravery in that, and I think for me, because sometimes you can think of bravery like, oh, I got to go and do the thing, but I think it's also bravery to settle in the moment and have peace where you are. You know, that because sometimes it's unsettling and it doesn't feel good, but you have to be brave to say, okay, this is what it is, and I'm standing firm here.
Sometimes it takes more bravery to do nothing. To say nothing.
It does.
Oh my gosh.
Because we're doers.
Oh, man.
We're doers. And I always
that
say,
is
like,
profound for me, y'all.
yeah, we are human beings. We are not human doers. And so because we are doers, but God created us to be human beings. It takes so much bravery to just be, you know, to just be brave and just be.
Yeah, we're teaching.
Oh my gosh, you really did bless me. Y'all blessed me with that one. Just being. Just be.
Yeah, just be.
We're teaching our 4-year-old a memory verse right now, and it's sad that I can't tell you exactly where it is. I want to say Second Chronicles somewhere, but it's about not being afraid, and it has these little hand motions. But one of the hand motions, it's I will trust in the Lord with all my heart. Do not be no. See, I'm already doing it wrong. But part of it is do not be afraid. So when a situation comes up in his life, he'll look at me and go, "No afraid, no afraid," and he does the little hand motions. It's like, you're right, buddy. You're right. But sometimes that's hard.
So cute.
I know it is. It is so cute.
This is so
I know.
And I do have 2 verses too that I have had in my heart for that bravery term, and one of them is Joshua 1:9. This is my command: be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or discouraged, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. And then Psalms 27:14. Wait patiently for the Lord. Be brave and courageous. Yes, wait patiently for the Lord. So both of those are 2 different aspects. You know, the one is the being and one is the doing, and they speak to both, but both of them deal with bravery.
Boy, she's dropping the mic today, Shanita. I mean, Nekesha's bringing it.
Oh my God.
You know,
I'm just like,
when I have more than 3 minutes,
I'm a human being.
not a human doing. You're a human being.
Yes.
Yeah, Tracy, when I've got more than 3 minutes, and it's one-on-one. I got it covered. But 3 minutes under pressure and the time is watching me.
Oh my gosh. Our listeners, so you know what she's referring to, every one of our sessions, I shouldn't say everyone, starting session 3, each of our fellows does a 3-minute pitch to present their venture and what they're doing and how they're affecting the community. And there's a lot of pushback to make it longer than 3 minutes because it is hard. It is hard to do something in 3 minutes. So yeah, I'm sorry, Nekesha.
It's okay. I'm learning. I'm adapting. I'm being brave.
You are. You're being brave, and you're right on time. You're doing really good. You're doing really good.
Well, I appreciate those kind words from you, Tracy.
You're doing great. Well, thank you so much, Nekesha, for joining us today, and Shanita for being my partner in crime. I appreciate you guys both taking the time. Nekesha, to share your vision, to share your venture, and to encourage us to be brave.
Yes, I thank you guys for having me.
Absolutely. And listeners, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We don't want you to miss hearing from all of our fellows. I don't know which session you're on right now, but we have 9 fellows in this cohort, and we have a podcast of each one of them sharing your vision, and we'd love for you to listen to all of them. So hit that subscribe button, and you won't miss an episode. And if you're sitting there going, oh my gosh, I have a venture that could benefit from being a part of an accelerator, and I want to be a part of this redemptive vision for Oklahoma City, you can find us at www.cultivate.city. We're also all over social media on all of the usual channels. We will be launching cohort 4 in February, and applications open November 1st. So if you're interested, reach out to us. We would love to tell you more. We hope you were encouraged to hear about how OKC founders are creating a redemptive culture in their community. If you would like to learn more about the accelerator, go to www.cultivate.city. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We will catch you next time, and thank you for listening.